As this year's Grand Marshal, as those who have preceded her, she has truly, truly earned the honor. Kelly.
Okay, I got it. Oh, look, push Kelly now.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you for that very kind introduction. Thanks for your support now, and especially during those tough 7 months.
Good one.
It's truly an honor to be speaking to you tonight as your Grand Marshal. I want to especially thank Dean Litz, Brittany Barrett, and Rachel McCann for choosing me to be your Grand Marshal. This is my 6th relay and one of my favorite nights of the year. As a cancer survivor and a fellow Anselmian, it means so much that you're fighting this fight with me. One thing that I've come to admire and appreciate about the students is that they too endure a lot, and they're fighters. Cancer has affected each one of us in one way or another, and tonight we are here to fight back. It's events like this that helps to make cancer treatment more bearable, but also creates more birthdays. Because of you, the support of this community, and my family and friends, I have been given the gift of more birthdays. And for that, I am eternally grateful. My story begins on my 35th birthday, the day I found out I was expecting. The months to follow were some of the best days of my life. I had a wonderful pregnancy, and despite Father Bennett's angst that I was still at work the day Liam was born. By contrast, my 36th birthday was spent getting chemo. How life can change so quickly, especially after things were going so well for so long. I had a perfect little baby boy and a wonderful baptism with our closest family and friends. 4 days later, all of that changed. I went in for a routine checkup and was sent for an additional test. I was told I needed surgery. The next day I got a phone call from a nurse telling me to come in for a chest x-ray. She said my hormone levels were high. Well, of course my hormone levels were high. I just had a baby. She was talking in circles and didn't seem to know what she was talking about, but she did. December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. It was time for surgery, or at least I thought it was until my doctor came in and sat on the bed. Not a good sign. But I loved her and trusted her. She was my age and had 2 young kids herself. And I saw her for the duration of my pregnancy. She was even there when my water broke in the doctor's office. And then she became the doctor who changed my life forever. This is cancer, she said. We are removing a tumor. She explained that I had gestational trophoblastic disease. It was a rare form of choriocarcinoma, which begins in pregnancy. I had never heard of such a thing. Well, apparently, neither had she. This cancer is so rare that it took 4 doctors a round of tests to confirm what I had. It was 1 in 150,000 cases. It was especially rare that I was even able to have a full-term pregnancy. My son Liam, now 7, is my miracle baby. In difficult times as these, you are thankful for every miracle. That is what our friend Lisa was that day. My mom was home alone with the baby when she got the call. She was desperately trying to reach my dad when Lisa arrived at the door. I will forever be grateful for her for being there for my mom. Waking up in the hospital, none of it seemed real. I remember the woman I was sharing the room with asked me why I was in the hospital. I guess I have cancer, was my response. I learned later that I had to have a CAT scan to see if the cancer had spread to my brain. I was 35 and had a 6-week-old baby. How is this even happening? Thankfully, my brain was cancer-free. My dad always said it takes 3 things to beat cancer: a great doctor, a great support system, and a positive attitude. Sure, there were a couple nights I cried myself to sleep asking, why me? But I had such amazing support from my husband, parents, friends, co-workers. I kept forging ahead. And it didn't hurt that I was put in touch with the doctor who spent his career researching and curing this disease, and that he was right in Boston. So on December 21st, we were on our way to Beantown. I remember saying, I can't imagine I would start chemo right away. It's Christmas. I was admitted to Elliott Hospital the very next day. I was stage 3 in a very aggressive and rare cancer. It was the first cancer to be cured by chemotherapy, and 30 years ago was a terminal diagnosis. My prognosis, thankfully, was very good. I was told I had an 85% cure rate. So we made the most of it. Liam was very happy with his new roommates and his 5 a.m. bottles with his papa, and the many tubbies given him from his Grammy. It was quality family time. And on good days, we would take a drive to the ocean or go to the mall. There is something so comforting about having your mom and dad with you when you're sick. I truly could not have made it through without them. Still, with weekly treatments and countless doctor's appointments, it was a long, hard 7 months, even though I no longer had to shave and miraculously won all the card games I played with my friends. I felt like I was on the outside of my life looking in. There were moments I thought I had reached the end of my rope, and would think of Thomas Jefferson's words, when you reach the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. Fortunately, I was able to see quick results. My tumor tracker, as it was called, went according to my hormone level. Normal pregnancies will have a level of about 30,000. Mine was at 1.5 million. That was the cancer in full swing. That number had to reach 0 before my doctors would even think about finishing my treatment. But by January 18th, after only a few weeks of chemo, I learned that I was already at 424. I was told that chemo works well with aggressive cancers, but I had no idea it would work that well. To this day, that number will have a very special meaning to me. I ran in the waiting room to tell my dad and husband the great news, and we all enjoyed a special dinner out that evening to celebrate. Through it all, Liam was an amazing baby. It was as if he knew he had to be good to help his mom. And it was a good thing, because many times I could barely take care of myself, much less the baby. I recall an especially rough day that I woke up in excruciating back pain, but rescheduled a chemo and had to get myself out of bed and into the car. The doctors were concerned about blood clots, so after a long round of chemo and a lot of pain meds, I still had to go to the hospital for tests. In the waiting room, I decided to lie down on the floor. I remember the nurse giving me a very strange look when she came out to get me. That evening, Lisa and her husband Scott came over while I slept off all the meds. Not long after I was diagnosed, my dear friend Fran, who many of you know from campus ministry, came to my house with a whole week's worth of home-cooked meals. Fran, along with a group of my friends and colleagues, did this for 6 months. They also made a gorgeous quilt, each person doing a different square. I received countless cards, emails, phone calls, gift cards, food, and was on many prayer lists. All of this was so heartwarming and was such a source of strength. We even received support from people we did not know. Our local pharmacist, for example, gave my husband his cell and home phone number when he saw the medications being filled. I was overwhelmed by the kindness shown to me. Fran was truly there for every step of the way. She was one of the first people I told when I was expecting. She drove me to my last doctor's appointment when, ironically, my water broke as I was getting out of her car. She drove me to the hospital and waited with me until my husband arrived. She took my call in the middle of the night with the news that Liam was born, and of course came to meet him the next day. From the time of my diagnosis, she gave me unmeasurable support, friendship, and love. When it came time to shave my head, she, along with her sister-in-law, who was also undergoing treatment, offered to take me to lunch and then to a salon. Driving to Manchester, I was bopping to the music, ready to see my friends. Heading home, I was in tears. For the first time, I felt like a cancer patient. I was even afraid to go home to show my new head to my infant son. Finally, on May 17th, it was with mixed emotion that I received my last treatment. Now, don't get me wrong, I would not miss all the poking and prodding and was ecstatic to have renewed health. I would, however, miss the doctors and nurses I saw each and every week for 7 months. They became a part of my life, and I was sad that I would not see these people who were so instrumental in getting me to where I am today. And though I had not seen my doctor who diagnosed me since my original hospital stay, I broke down in tears when I finally did see her in June 2007. We had taken this journey together, and seeing her brought the emotions all back. Today, I'm 7 years cancer-free. The experience has made me a stronger person, and I will always be thankful for that time with my family and for my health. Liam, now 7, has never once asked for a brother or sister. I want to share with you a quote from an unknown author which I thought has great meaning to our cause. Cancer is so limited, it cannot cripple love, it cannot shatter hope, it cannot corrode faith, it cannot destroy peace, it cannot kill friendship, it cannot suppress memories, it cannot silence courage, it cannot invade the soul, it cannot steal eternal life, it cannot conquer the spirit. My dear friend Stephanie is here tonight for her fourth relay. She's always been there for me and to this day. Together, we stay at the relay until the final congratulations from Dean Litz around 7 a.m., even after the coffee has run out. I'm so thankful for her friendship. Finally, my husband, son, parents, and friend Lisa are all here tonight to cheer me on, as they always have. I could not have made it through without their love and support. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. I will forever be grateful for all that I received during that time, and will spend the rest of my days repaying the kindness. Thank you, and God bless.